It is 2 a.m. The blue light of your phone is the only source of illumination in the dark. You aren't doom-scrolling social media, and you aren't watching a video. You are staring at your banking app. You refresh the page, even though you know the numbers haven't changed. There is a specific sinking feeling in your stomach when you look at that balance. It feels like gravity has shifted. You think back to a promise you made to yourself 5 years ago. You were sitting at a cheap desk, making a salary that felt suffocatingly small. You said, if I could just earn $60,000, everything would be fixed. I would be safe. I would finally have enough. Well, here's the dangerous question that keeps you awake at night. You hit that number. You got the raise. You are making the money you used to dream about. So why does your bank account look exactly the same as it did back then? Why is the panic identical? It isn't inflation. It isn't the economy. It isn't even the cost of housing. It is a glitch in your brain, a very specific, very ancient line of code called Parkinson's law. And until you rewrite it, no amount of money will ever be enough. We need to talk about why your brain refuses to let you keep money. And I don't mean this metaphorically, I mean biologically. For 99% of human history, saving was impossible. If you killed a mammoth, you couldn't put the meat in a 401k. If you didn't eat it, it rotted. So nature built a mechanism into your dopamine receptors. If resources are available, consume them immediately. We like to think we are logical operators making spreadsheets. We aren't. We are biological machines designed to burn fuel as soon as we find it. Think of your money like water, and think of your lifestyle, your rent, your clothes, your food, as a goldfish living in that water. When you started out, the water was low, the bowl was small. You had a tiny salary, so you had a tiny lifestyle. You ate noodles, you shared an apartment, and while it was tight, the fish fit the bowl. Then you got that promotion. The water level rose, the bowl got twice as big. Logically, you should have had a tiny goldfish swimming in a massive ocean of extra water. That extra water is wealth. That extra water is freedom. But that's not how biology works. Biology dictates that the goldfish grows to the size of its environment. As soon as the income creates more space, your lifestyle expands to touch the glass. You don't just buy a car, you lease the one with the leather package. You move to the apartment without roommates because I've earned this privacy. And suddenly, the massive bowl feels just as cramped as the tiny bowl did. The fish is huge, the water is displaced. This is the salary trap. And here is the most dangerous part. The modern world has weaponized this against you. 200 years ago, spending money was hard. You had to count out physical coins. There was pain associated with paying. Today, Apple Pay, one-click ordering, subscriptions. The system is designed to be frictionless. It hides the fact that the water is leaving the bowl. You don't feel the sting of spending $20 on a lunch. You just tap a card, a tiny dopamine hit, and you justify it as an upgrade. Here is a challenge. Look back at your spending habits from 5 years ago. What is one luxury you used to live without that you now feel you can't live without? Is it the gym membership? The delivery apps? The brand of coffee? Tell me in the comments, because when you write it down, you realize how quickly a luxury calcifies into a necessity. So how do we stop the goldfish from growing? Most advice tells you to use willpower. Just budget. That's like telling a drowning person to breathe less oxygen. You cannot fight Parkinson's law with willpower. You have to fight it with a dam. You have to create artificial scarcity. This isn't about budgeting. This is about hiding money from yourself. When that raise comes in, if it sits in your checking account for even a day, you will spend it. You'll see the high balance, feel rich, and buy the round of drinks. The only way to win is to automate the removal of the resource before your brain registers that it exists. Divert it to an account you cannot see and cannot touch. You have to lie to yourself. You have to convince your primitive brain that you are still earning 30,000 even when you are earning 60. Because here is the secret regarding wealth. Wealth is not the ability to buy things. Wealth is the ability to not buy things and be perfectly fine. Real status isn't the car. Real status is the ability to walk away from a job you hate because you have 3 years of expenses sitting in a tank that the goldfish couldn't reach. The world wants you to be a giant fish in a giant bowl, terrified of the water level dropping. But you can choose to be a small fish swimming in an ocean of margin. The next time you get a raise, don't upgrade your life, upgrade your freedom.